Trevor here, Virginia History Detectors. Thanks for tuning in to what's now our third video on digging out the copper hoard. I've got the whole hoard laid out here in front of me underneath this sheet. We're going to go through it. We're going to look at everything. We're going to talk about it. We did go back after the last video you saw where I found all the 1800s coppers. We sifted it out, we dug in every direction, found some more stuff. We're going to go over that and look at that. But before we do that, and before we look at that footage, just wanted to talk about kind of how everything went down and some of the surprises along the way. So, you know, after I found the 1800s coppers in the last video, you know, I was just overjoyed, elated, mind blown. You guys saw me, you know, shaking in that video due to all the adrenaline and everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 largies. Indian, 7. I'm shaking. And then, you know, I got home, I had all these coins. I reached in my backpack, pulled out a plastic shopping bag, you know, had all the coins in there. Laid them all out on the tailgate, started shooting videos, started taking pictures. You know, back when I was at the site, I was, you know, texting with all the guys, fielding phone calls, you know, just talking to people about, you know, what I was doing and what was going on. It was just so incredible. So then in the ensuing week after that, I knew we were going back the next weekend with all the guys, and we were going to dig it out and everything. So I had to get a sifting table built. I had other stuff going on, you know, work, life, family, blah, blah, blah. Same stuff everyone's got. And then I had all these coins to play with and clean up and look at and research and, you know, kind of figure out what exactly I had. So it got to be Saturday night, and I'm loading up my truck with the sifting table, you know, detectors, all the tools we'll need, loppers, saws, big shovels, all that good stuff. And then I went to clean out my backpack and got all the trash from, you know, the last couple hunts out of there. I had a brick in there that I'd saved from the house, kind of just to go along with the hoard, you know, just as a souvenir type of thing. And then cleaned out my backpack, and something just clicked in my brain and said, hey, reach your hand down in, you know, the pouch where the water bladder goes. And I reached my hand down in there, and I mean, it was like, you know, was this even real? There was a whole lot more coins in my backpack that I failed to include in the wrap up on the second video. So you guys did see me dig all these coins out of the ground, but I didn't realize that I had so many, because at some point when I was moving coins to my bag, you know, I must have got distracted. I don't even know what happened, but all I know is I came home, I had, you know, 104 coins in a plastic shopping bag in my backpack, and I didn't even realize that the others were there. You may be wondering, you know, how could that possibly happen? I honestly don't even know. It's all kind of just foggy, and my only defense is insanity, because that's what it was. It was just an insane period of time that day, and you know, I just ran with it from there and didn't even think about it. Although I did watch the video a few times that week and think to myself, you know, I really should have more flying eagles. It just seems like, you know, I never stopped to count how many I was calling out in the video, and it just didn't dawn on me or occur to me before you know, I pulled those coins out of my backpack. So everything's here. We're gonna roll some footage real quick, take a look at all the sifting activities, and then when we come back, I'll unveil the hoard, and we can take a look at all the coin totals and all the stuff that you know, that we found when we were sifting it all out. All right, see you in a bit.
Well, good morning, everybody. This is Miles and Mike. And Mike. We are on the way. Actually, if you're watching this video, I want you to stop watching this and go watch parts 1 and parts 2 of this video, because this video is going to make a lot more sense, and those videos are awesome. We are going to hunt. We're not even really hunting. We're going to be digging and sifting out a coin hoard, and it's going to be really sweet. It's absolutely gorgeous weather. I don't know if you can tell. I think in the last hour we probably got like a solid inch of rain, and it rained all night, and it's gonna rain all day. But we are prepared. We have a canopy and sifters.
Sifters.
Yeah.
We're going to be trying to sift wet dirt today.
It's a mosquito. You just smudged it everywhere.
That's cool.
Right. Well, I guess we will see you when we get to the site, and we're gonna try and do the best we can with the weather and filming, but we'll see what happens. Alrighty, Trevor and Mike are getting the
Did you see my note about gloves?
sifter set up. There's the hole right there. Bunch of brick and debris in it. I just took a detector over it. You can't hear a single thing. Not a single high tone in there. Just all iron, but it's full of coins.
Wood is kind of swelled up overnight.
Let's take a look at some of our tools. Sifter, couple shovels. We got a little base camp set up here. Here's some of the stones. Mike's got his T2. I've got the Max, AT Max Garrett. We probably aren't going to need those. Pinpointers are also going to be pretty much useless because this whole thing is full of nails.
Sorry, you guys have stuff. I dig it. Where you want it?
Yeah, this is going to be fun.
Set it over here and then let's start piling up hay.
So basically all we're going to just be doing is we're just going to be digging shovelfuls of dirt. We're going to put them in here and we're going to shake all the dirt out. And what's going to be behind is there are gnats everywhere. What's going to be behind is coins, nails, anything else that's, you know, big enough to not fall through there. So we're gonna see what's up at the first sift load.
That's all the dirt that we've excavated so far. No 1800s coins yet. I have a feeling there'll be something in there, but we found a couple wheat pennies so far. Mike's over there on the shaker table. Shake it, boy. Shake what your mama gave you.
But don't break it.
Oh, Lord. All right. Miles is over there helping him. We still got all this pay to go through.
Got a whole bucket full of garbage.
And then we're gonna, we got a whole bucket full of garbage already. We're gonna excavate all of it. Hopefully there's more hoard. It's a lot of fun. Let me tell you what. Got a good team and
Good time.
good time. We'll be back in a little bit. All right. Alright guys, we're still out here digging and sifting. The hole is becoming a big pit. Haven't found much yet. We did just turn out this cool little bottle, little blue bottle.
It's not
Terribly old.
horribly old. The seam stops right about
Oh, okay,
there.
It's got a seam.
Yeah, it does. So it doesn't go all the way up, which is good.
I like it though.
It says
What do they call those? The milk and magnesia bottles?
744.
744, maybe a mocha magnesia. I don't know.
Cobalt,
Little baby
some kind
one.
of cobalt,
Cobalt.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It's pretty. It's all intact. It's cool. There's our sifter. There's all of our tailings.
Let's show them the.
refuse piles.
There's
That's the plaster that we're
That's the plaster and
digging
brick
through.
pile.
It's a blast.
So anyway, we got Scott on the way. He's going to be here shortly. Oh, just fell in the pit. No more coins, but we're going to keep working. We're going to keep working all day, and hopefully something's going to turn up. All right, be back in a minute. All right, guys, we have started filling back in this hole. All we found today was Indian pennies, or not Indian, sorry. What am I? I'm really tired. We're all pretty beat. We found a few more wheat pennies to add to the hoard. No more big coppers, no more 1800s coppers, no silver, no gold. Nothing but that blue bottle we saw earlier. But then as we're going through the last bit of dirt, we did find this. This point, I'm told it's quartzite.
It's I don't know. It's either quartz or quartzite.
Quartz or quartzite, but it's pretty cool. I've actually never found one, so this is pretty neat.
Got something.
Oh, we got something
Just
here.
got a button.
Oh,
dang.
And we got a button out of there.
Like an overalls button or is it a flat button?
It says something.
It's got a design. Oh, it's an overalls button, isn't it?
Bell.
Blue bell.
Blue. 250 Hoard. 250 Hoard VA 250.
It says congratulations.
Blue Ridge.
I've got one of those,
The
actually.
one piece of brass.
I got one of those from a site real close to
One
here.
piece of brass on the day.
Yeah, overall button.
On live dig as we're filling in the hole.
That's cool.
We will take it.
All right. I guess two of the neatest finds, unfortunately. Didn't do better than that, but I was about to dump all that dirt that was in our wheelbarrow back into the hole, so I'm glad we decided to finish it and sift it out. Okay guys, I am back. Hope you guys enjoyed watching that. You know, we didn't set it on fire, but we definitely managed to recover a few more coins with one surprise that I'll tell you about in a moment. And you know, we got that point, the little blue bottles, kind of cool finds, and then of course that little button in there. Just all cool stuff to go along with the hoard. So I'm going to pull this cover off of the copper hoard and stop my chandelier from bouncing around. Okay, so here's the hoard. I'm just gonna kind of, you know, we'll start at the bottom and work our way up. Okay, so this is a coin that you guys have seen. I originally thought it was a King George II because it was facing left, and somebody correctly identified it as a King James II Hibernia halfpenny, Irish halfpenny. So it's got a pretty good bust relief on it, and it's kind of hard to tell, but I did get a couple of the letters to come out on it, but for the most part, it's, you know, it's pretty beat up. Back is totally slick, but that's an awesome coin. That's the oldest coin I found. It dates 1685 to 1688. There's no date on it, but I think it's awesome, and it's my first 1600s find. So in the backpack with the missing coins were these two coins, which are, these are Canadian large cents. Both of them are dated 1859. This one needs a little more cleanup, but plenty of time to get into that. It's kind of hard to see the date on there. I apologize about the lighting in this room isn't the best. I've got some lamps and stuff turned on, but I'm also using the light here on this camera. So pretty awesome. Was not expecting to find Canadian large cents in there, but moving on up the board, you're looking at 90 US large cents. All of them are matrons, braideds, and there are 3 drape busts in there. So I'm just gonna kind of pan through them and just, you know, maybe note the cooler ones. You know, a lot of these are just, the condition is just amazing for, you know, large cents coming out of the ground. There's a lot of detail still on a whole lot of them. Of course, they do have a little bit of ground action, but you may notice, oh, there's some right there. These coins were, if I can get it to focus, these coins, I believe, were all rolled together. I mean, there was paper on the edges of a lot of them. 2 of the eagles are still stuck together and will remain that way. But my theory is that whoever buried these, you know, they wrapped them up in some paper. I think it's probably, you know, it doesn't seem like 1800s paper. It's got a little pattern on it, throws off a sheen a little bit. So I don't know, maybe they were all buried in 1935, which is the date of the earliest wheat penny. Or perhaps they were buried earlier. I don't think we'll ever know, but because they were all packed together, you know, you just didn't have them touching soil. They just were touching similar metals. This 1827 here is just beautiful. Just a lot of detail on that. Unfortunately, got that nick on the face somehow. Probably me being careless, but it's still awesome. Yeah, really great shape. This 1850 has a gorgeous color, just amazing amount of detail there, and hardly any corrosion. Pretty cool. So I'll just go back to panning through here and you guys can kind of check them out. That 1846 is in really good shape. Still got dirt on it, but I may just leave it that way. There's a 1832, moving on down. That one actually got a good bit of corrosion on it, but yeah. I don't know how close I can get here and still maintain a focus, but I think you guys are getting the general idea that a lot of these are in really good shape, which is pretty amazing. That one's really pretty. I don't know if I can get any closer than that. Just awesome detail left on it. I think out of the whole hoard, out of the large cents, about 8 or 10 of them were, you know, kind of no date, just really worn and or corroded. But you know, for the most part, I'm really pleased with the way they turned out. I think, yeah, the drape busts are on the next row, but that's another good one there. So yeah, it's a drape bust there. That one did come out, or whatever it was, not in my bag. It doesn't have a date, but good relief on it. That one is, I don't know if I can get the date to pop out. That's a 1798. I don't know if, I think that was in the video previously. It's got pretty good details on it, but it does have a lot of ground action, unfortunately. I don't care, I love it. And then there's this one that has no date, unfortunately, but this one was in the bag. So 3 drape busts, and I dug one about a month and a half ago on a farm near where I live. So pretty good. 4 drape busts in a couple months time. I don't think you can do much better than that. 1848 with the counter stamp on it, pretty cool. You guys probably remember that from the last video. Just kind of moving through here. I think these on the bottom, that 1817 is really pretty. And then, I don't know what happened to that. Fortunately, it's probably the worst coin in the whole lot. So that's it. 90 US large cents, which is just amazing. Up here, I've got the Eagles. There are 28 of them. Unfortunately, they're really corroded, the vast majority of them. Kind of going through here. So when we got back from sifting out the Hoard, the guys had called out in that video, you know, you saw them calling out a couple Wheaties, but somebody wasn't paying attention because one of those Wheaties turned into not this one, and you can see the paper still on that one. You can see the paper still wrapped around that guy. These two are still stuck together, and hopefully will forever remain there. Might be an 1856 there, I don't know. So I don't know if it was micro miles, but anyway, one of them mistook this for a wheat penny and put it in there, but I hope you can see the detail remaining on that one. It's far and away the very best Flying Eagle out of the bunch. So that was an awesome surprise. I mean, going back and sifting it, you know, just to get this coin out of there was totally and completely worth the effort. So I'm really grateful to the guys for all their hard work and being there to do that with me. We had a great time. So, I mean, that thing is awesome. Still has a little, you know, corrosion, a little cleanup left to do on it, but boy, it's pretty. This is the back. It's not in too bad a shape. A lot of detail on it, just like the front. Moving up the board, we have all of our 2-cent coins. There were 57 2-cent coins in the Hoard. Once again, you know, there's very little corrosion on these coins. They were all wrapped together tightly against one another. I'll just kind of pan through and we can look at them. I'll show you some of the best stuff that's in there. I don't know if I can get closer and still focus. Yeah, maybe little by little. There's no small mottos in there. Probably the best of the bunch is, and there's an 1871 in there that's in really good condition. I actually ended up with 2 1871s and they only minted like 600,000 of them, I think, which is pretty cool. Anyhow, you guys get the idea. Let me see if I can find that 1871 coin. Is this it here? So that's got a lot of detail on it. That is not it. That is an 1864. Let's see, I was just looking at it. Anyways, it's an 1871. It's in similar condition to what we just looked at, except all the lines on the shield are still pretty crisp. So I'm really happy with that. I really like that coin a whole lot. And then also these items came. I cleaned up this point a little bit. It's really pretty. It's really sharp. Got a nice edge on it still. No tip, but hey, I'll take it. I'd never found one of these before, so. We had a wheelbarrow full of dirt and we were getting ready to, you know, we had already started filling in the hole, and I said to the guys, you really want to sift that? Or should we just throw it in? They said, well, you dug it out. We'll sift it for you. So thankfully they did, and that was in there. So anyhow, hope you guys have enjoyed this. There's all the wheat pennies. I did actually painstakingly count them out by hand a couple nights ago. I came up with 998. I thought it was about 1,070, but I guess when I weighed it, I must have, you know, done some calculation incorrectly or something like that. I was just trying to get a round number, but whatever. We'll just call it 1,000 wheat pennies, and that is it. So it's been, you know, a really amazing experience doing all this, digging it all out, and you know, it's quite a collection of coppers I've got now. So one of the coolest things I think about the whole hoard is that, you know, we've got a coin that, you know, dates the 1600s. We've got a coin that dates, you know, 1700s, and then we've got a lot of 1800s and a lot of 1900s, and then, you know, throw in the point, and you've got, you know, Native American, prehistoric, whatever. So a whole lot of history in the whole. You know, it's just remarkable to me that all those time periods and time frames were all kind of represented in all the finds within one hole. So pretty exciting stuff. So that's it. If you guys have questions, you know, put them in the comments. And if you're not a subscriber to Virginia History Detectors, we'd love to have you subscribe. We're going to be getting in the water soon, doing some water hunts around Central Virginia and Southeast Virginia. and wherever else, you know, opportunities may take us. So we'll bring those videos to you guys soon, and thanks for watching. We'll take you on our next hunt. All right, thanks, bye.
I'm working real hard right now.
Supervise it, man.
Dig faster.